Hello Professor, this is Daniel Goodrum with my third video for my final submission. In this video I'm going to be covering the alarm system and the keyboard system. Excuse me. So my alarm registration command, I'm going to show this one because all of my registration commands are very similar. This one's just the only one I really did anything extra on it, so I put a set time function and a set time variable. So those are stored so that I can, when it sets the alarm registration, it is, here's my alarmable. So if you call it, you want to set alarm 0 for float time, it goes ahead and it submits the registration to the registration broker, and then when it goes and actually submits it, it will go in and submit the registration and create the time. So here I just have an array of my alarmable struct, which is shown here. So I just have a struct with my alarm reference, current registration state, the pointers, and pretty straightforward. On destruction, goes through and deletes everything. Then the alarm manager here, it uses a multimap and a pair. The alarm event gets put into the multimap with the time, and then it will go through and check for the current time. The process alarms, pretty straightforward. It goes through, and if it gets to a point where the current time, if the current alarm that it's checking is after current time, it just breaks out of the loop, and so it saves if there's later alarms or whatever. The registration process is pretty straightforward. It just gets the current time from the time manager and adds whatever the float time is to it and registers it that way. And the deregistration uses the reference and does that. When I do my demo for the game, I'll show you all that stuff in working progress or in action. For my inputables, here I have my inputable class having a brief explanation of how to use these. So I have my scene registration, scene deregistration, my key presses, and then the key press state and the key release state, the submit registration, all that good stuff. Here it pretty straightforward, uses the scene attorney to register and deregister, and when it gets a new registration event, it creates a new one, and then that would go to the keyboard event manager, where it has register and deregister. This uses a map and a pair, so the pair is just going to be the key and the event, and then the map has the key and then the single key event manager. So when this when something gets inputted, it creates a new single event key manager if the key doesn't exist, and then it creates a pair with the key and the key event manager, so that it knows where it is, and then it inserts it into the map. And then if one already exists, then it just inputs it into that one. Pretty straightforward. Deregister, it goes through, looks for whatever the input the key map, and it goes and finds it, and then it deregisters it. I'll show you how that works later. And here's the single event manager. So this is going to be each key. When a key is registered, if, like, say 3 different things want to be registered for, like, a space, all the space ones will go to here. So then if a space event happens, then it'll let everybody know. Using just this one, just uses a list, and because once it has to process the events, it just goes through the entire thing. And this does both key pressed and key released for each state. So it's pretty straightforward. Goes through, iterates it, and calls each of the inputables. This one doesn't have any member functions, so the delete's pretty straightforward. Other than that, that's it for this video. I will have another one up shortly. Thank you.